And we're live, the Rome Show. I'm your host, Go Rome. Dr. Aliah, how you doing? Healthy topic.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's getting hot now.
I know. It's like that weather in the morning. We're a little cooler, and then heating up by the afternoon.
Right. Are you more of winter or like spring or summer?
I like spring and fall. I'm not a huge summer fan, to be honest, but that's just because I tend to overheat. So I'm always like, I can get warm, but I can't get cool.
Right. Yeah, it gets super hot in the summer.
Yep.
So the topic today is foundation of the body.
Okay.
Um we always talk, healthy topics, physical therapy stuff. What are some of the most essential parts of the body people should focus protecting every day?
Yeah, I love this question. I feel like this is one people brush over when they're exercising. Sometimes even with physical therapists, we don't pay attention to the little things that actually build the foundation. Sometimes, so to answer you, I would tell you feet, ankles, starting like from bottom up are by far the most important. Even I'll backtrack a little bit. Even your big toe is super important for balance as we continue to get older. So people don't realize, like, if you start to lose range of motion in that big toe, it also affects balance and it affects how you're walking. So your big toe is super important. Feet are super, super important. So people living with bunions, they know, pain, and then they start walking funny. But again, how it affects everything up the chain. And then ankle range of motion is something a lot of times people look over. You may have hip pain, but I would tell you, check out what's going on at your ankles first, because if you're having an ankle range of motion issue or stability issue, your hip actually could be making up for it. I will tell you I'll kind of group those together. The other place that I would love people to pay more attention to is their thoracic spine, so that mid spine. And then going out a little bit further is that shoulder blade, how your shoulder blade's moving. Those are two really like fundamental foundational places where I would love people to pay more attention to.
Super important. Yeah, those are very important.
Yeah, because they're your stability, right? So your body's made up of stability and mobility. So I tell everybody, where you give up stability, you have mobility, and vice versa. Where you're mobile, you give up stability. So in order to have good mobility, you need to make sure you have stability. And sometimes those get flip flopped and they really shouldn't. And that's when people start having pain and injuries occur.
Good one, good one. And what do you think is the most overlooked body part in your experience being a physical therapist?
I would say the ankle for sure. I definitely think ankle foot complex. We don't look at it enough. We don't blame it enough when we should. We tend to go right at, like, I'll use the same example we were talking about. If a patient came in and said they have hip pain, a lot of times we're going right to the hip, when in reality we could rehab the hip a million times, but that patient's going to keep coming back to us because we never actually got to the root of the problem. The root of the problem wasn't the hip the whole time. The root of the problem was, hey, they don't have good ankle range of motion, so their hip keeps making up for it. So that's where we call them our frequent flyers. But at the same time, right, we need to take better look at what actually is causing what somebody may be having hip pain for. So I would definitely say ankle. The song "Everything's Connected" is a real thing. And again, if it's the foundation of, hey, these are the first things on the ground, we should probably be taking a better look at how they're moving.
Yeah, that's major right there. And prevention versus recovery. A lot of people think physical therapy only happens after an injury. Can you explain how physical therapy can prevent injuries and keep the body performing at its best?
Yeah. So, again, our healthcare system is starting to jump on this bandwagon. I would love for it to speed up a little bit more. But I know, when I tore my ACL, which made me become a physical therapist, I actually went to something we call it prehab. In prehab, granted, yes, I had already torn my ACL, but people don't even know prehab exists. So it's rehab before you go get surgery. But I tell everybody, same thing. I mean, doing prehab or rehabbing yourself to prevent an injury is a real thing. And a lot of times people wait until we're in pain. And at that point, we're already down the bandwagon where we should have been looking at before pain even started to occur. How are things moving? And let's see if we can prevent anything from even getting to that pain point. A lot of times, again, people end up seeing me because, oh, I'm in pain, but we could have been doing stuff about it way beforehand. And I'm sure people have warning signs. It's not just the, hey, my pain's been here for 2 weeks and it's not going away. They had warning signs before that. But prevention, prevention, prevention. Don't just wait until, hey, I'm in pain for 2 weeks and then we're trying to do something about it.
Right. Yeah, that's important too.
Yeah.
What's some everyday habits that can hurt the body that you know of?
Ooh, that's a good one. Not moving. Don't move. I mean, that's a good that's a really good one. Your body is meant to move. It likes movement. It's supposed to move. Don't get me wrong, our body's really good at being lazy in the sense, and when I say lazy, I don't mean just sitting on the couch and eating potato chips. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yes, I do that too. But what I mean by that is our body's really good at letting the bigger muscles do their take over when in reality little muscles should be working too. So our body's very good at letting the bigger guys take over, when in reality all the muscles in conjunction should be doing their job. So I would say not moving is one to hurt your body for sure. And that can go many ways, right? Like, yes, I understand some people can't get up and go for a walk, but hey, can we do some leg lifts sitting, right? Do some sort of movement. Anything is better than nothing. And then I will tell you the next big one that I've been seeing since after COVID and even during COVID, because everybody was working from home, is that type of posture where we're trying to get closer to our desk. So that seated posture, if we're working from home, where we don't take breaks. And it is like, hey, I'm working 6 to 8 hours sitting here staring at my computer. But eventually, depending on where that posture falls in, I notice a lot of people are starting to have those postural issues for sure.
Good. And I got one more.
Okay.
What's one tip you recommend to start today?
Today is let's go kind of off the topic on the topic that we're staying with, right? Let's start looking at your ankles. What are your ankles doing? How are they moving up and down like you're pressing on the gas pedal or bringing your toes up towards your shin, right? Your ankles also do this side to side motion and they also do this little tilt up and down motion. So you want to take a peek at how your ankle's moving in every single one of those directions. The other thing too, going based off of what we talked about today, Rome, is take a look at what shoes you're wearing. So shoes are super important. If we're going to talk about feet and ankles, right? I mean, and this is just very typical lawyer female who is wearing heels and they just push her toes in, right? And then she comes to me with ankle problems where she can't actually even get her ankle to neutral. Her ankle's just fixed like this because her whole life she's been wearing heels. But it's also because we crunch our toes in those heels. So I tell everybody, look at what shoes you're wearing. Are you wearing a wider shoed toe box, right? Get those toe spacers. They do matter. Your toes should be able to space out. And then how is that ankle entire complex moving? So take a peek at your ankle and feet. Be barefoot as much as you possibly can. We were actually made to be barefoot. So let those feet get out and do their job.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Right. Appreciate it. We'll see you next
Absolutely.
month for the next
Yeah.
episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Perfect.